In a small, quiet town, there lived a girl named Mia. She was bright and bubbly, always ready to share a smile with those around her. But lately, Mia had felt a heavy sadness weighing on her heart. Her best friend Jake had moved away to a big city far from their little town. They had shared so many memories, from late-night talks under the stars to lazy afternoons at the park, and now it felt like a part of her was missing. Mia often found herself staring at her phone, hoping for a message from Jake. They had promised to keep in touch, but as the days turned into weeks, the messages became less frequent. She missed his laughter, his silly jokes, and the way he always knew how to make her feel better. The distance between them felt like an endless void, and no amount of texting could fill it. One rainy afternoon, as Mia sat in her room, she glanced at the framed picture of them on her desk. In it, they were both laughing, with ice cream smeared on their faces from a day at the fair. The memory flooded her with warmth, but also a deep ache. She took a deep breath and picked up her phone, scrolling through their old messages. Each one reminded her of how close they had been, and how much she missed him. I should just call him, she thought, but fear gripped her. What if he was too busy with his new life? What if he didn't want to talk to her anymore? The thought made her stomach twist. Still, she knew she couldn't let fear hold her back. That night, she decided to send him a simple text. "Hey, Jake. I miss you. Hope you're doing well. Let's catch up soon." After hitting send, Mia felt a mixture of excitement and anxiety. She put her phone down and tried to distract herself with a book, but her mind kept wandering back to Jake. Would he reply? Would he feel the same way? The next day, while sitting in her usual spot at the coffee shop, she noticed a familiar notification pop up on her phone. It was a message from Jake. "Hey, Mia, I miss you too. I'd love to catch up. How about a video call this weekend?" Mia's heart soared. She couldn't believe he wanted to talk. She quickly replied, setting a time for their call. All day, she felt a flutter of anticipation. The idea of seeing Jake smile and hearing his voice again filled her with hope. When the weekend arrived, Mia prepared for the call, wanting everything to be perfect. She tidied her room, put on her favorite sweater, and even made herself a cup of her favorite tea. As the clock ticked closer to their scheduled time, her excitement mixed with nervousness. What would they talk about? Would it feel as easy as it used to? Finally, the time came. Mia took a deep breath and clicked the link to start the video call. The screen flickered, and there he was, Jake, looking just as she remembered. His hair was a little longer, and he wore a big grin that made her heart race. "Mia," he exclaimed, waving excitedly. "It's so good to see you." "It's great to see you too, Jake," she replied, her cheeks warming with joy for the next hour. They talked and laughed like no time had passed. Jake shared stories about his new city, the friends he had made, and the adventures he had been on. Mia listened intently, feeling a mix of happiness for him and longing for the times they had shared. They reminisced about their favorite moments together, and Mia felt the distance between them begin to shrink. But as the call went on, Mia couldn't shake the feeling of sadness creeping back in. She wanted to be there with him, experiencing everything together instead of just hearing about it. The thought made her heart ache. She missed being able to reach out and hug him, to share a joke in person, or to simply sit in silence together. "Are you okay, Mia?" Jake asked suddenly, his expression turning serious. "You seem a bit off." Mia hesitated, unsure of how to express her feelings. I miss you, Jake. I'm really happy for you, but it's hard being so far apart." Jake nodded, his eyes softening with understanding. "I miss you too. It's not the same without you here. We had so much fun together. I wish you could see this place." "I wish I could too," Mia replied, feeling a lump in her throat. I just don't know how to make this work. It feels like we're drifting." Jake leaned closer to the camera, his expression earnest. "We can make it work. I want to stay connected. We can schedule regular calls, and maybe I can visit you soon. Let's not give up on what we have." Mia felt a wave of relief wash over her. "I'd love that. I want to hear about everything you do, and I want to share my life with you, too." As they continued to talk, Mia realized that although distance could sometimes feel overwhelming, it didn't have to mean the end of their friendship. They could still support each other, share their lives, and create new memories, even if they were miles apart. When the call finally ended, Mia felt a renewed sense of hope. Yes, things were different now, but they weren't lost. She decided that she would make an effort to reach out more, to bridge the gap between them. Even if it meant facing her fears, she was determined to keep their connection alive. As she lay in bed that night, staring at the stars through her window, Mia felt a sense of peace. She knew that love and friendship could conquer distance. With a smile on her face, she thought of Jake and the adventures they would share in the future. She felt a spark of excitement. All she needed was a little courage to reach out, and maybe, just maybe, they could find their way back to each other. And as the night deepened, Mia drifted off to sleep, dreaming of space adventures and the warmth of a friend's embrace, knowing that she was ready to explore the journey ahead. After that heartwarming video call with Jake, Mia felt a glimmer of hope. She had missed him so much, but now she knew they could still stay connected, even from a distance. However, as the days turned into weeks, she realized that keeping in touch required effort, and she wasn't sure how to bridge the gap between them. Mia spent her days going through her routine: school, homework, and time with her family. But her mind often wandered to Jake. What was he doing? Was he happy? She found herself checking her phone more often than usual, hoping for a message or a photo from him. Sometimes she felt silly for worrying so much. After all, they had promised to keep in touch. One evening, as Mia sat at her desk, she stared at the tiny globe on her shelf. It reminded her of all the places Jake had talked about exploring in the city. She decided it was time to take action. She wanted to do something special to show Jake that she cared, and that their friendship still mattered to her. Mia had an idea. She would create a scrapbook filled with memories of their time together. She could gather photos, write down funny stories, and even include little notes about their favorite things. It would be a way to remind both of them of the bond they shared, and to encourage Jake to share his new experiences with her. She spent the next few days collecting photos and mementos. She dug through old boxes and found ticket stubs from the yacht fair, snapshots of their ice cream adventures, and even a few drawings Jake had made when they were younger. With each item, she felt a wave of nostalgia wash over her, reminding her of the laughter and joy they had shared. As she worked on the scrapbook, Mia felt more connected to Jake than ever. She carefully arranged the photos and wrote little captions, trying to capture the essence of their friendship. She even included a page for Jake to fill in about his new life. "Your turn to share," she wrote at the top. She hoped he would find it fun to add his own memories and experiences. When the scrapbook was finally complete, Mia felt a sense of accomplishment. She had poured her heart into it, and now it was time to send it off to Jake. She carefully wrapped it in colorful paper and wrote a letter to go along with it. "Dear Jake," the letter began, "I hope this scrapbook brings back some of our best memories. I miss you so much, and I can't wait to hear all about your new adventures. Please add your own pages, and let's keep making memories, even from far away." With the package ready, Mia rushed to the post office. As she handed it over to the clerk, she felt a flutter of excitement. She could only imagine Jake's reaction. When he received it, would he smile? Would he feel the same warmth she felt as she made it? Days passed, and Mia anxiously awaited a reply. Whenever her phone buzzed, her heart raced with hope. But each time, it was just a notification from a game or a social media update. She tried to stay positive, reminding herself that Jake was busy adjusting to his new life. Finally, one sunny afternoon, Mia heard the familiar sound of a message coming through. She grabbed her phone and saw Jake's name light up the screen. Her heart raced as she opened the message. "Mia, I got your package and I loved it. The scrapbook is amazing." It brought back so many great memories. "I added a few pages of my own. Can we do a video call this weekend so I can show you?" Mia's heart soared. She quickly typed back, "I'm so glad you liked it. Yes, I'd love to see your pages. Let's do it." The days leading up to their call were filled with anticipation. Mia could hardly focus on anything else. She imagined all the new stories Jake would share his new friends, the places he explored, and the experiences he had. She felt like a child waiting for Christmas morning. When the weekend finally arrived, Mia prepared for the call with excitement. She tidied her room, brewed her favorite tea, and made sure her phone was charged. As the time drew near, she felt a mix of nerves and excitement. Would it feel as good as the last call? Would they still have the same chemistry? When Jake's face appeared on the screen, Mia felt a rush of joy. He looked happy and healthy, with a big smile on his face. "Mia, you're glowing." After the joyful video call with Jake, Mia felt a renewed sense of hope. Their friendship seemed stronger than ever, despite the distance. But she still worried about how to keep that connection alive. She wanted to make sure they didn't drift apart again, and she knew it would take more than just calls and messages. They needed a plan. Mia spent the next few days thinking about how to strengthen their bond. She remembered how they used to make up silly challenges and plans when they were younger. What if we did that again? She thought. We could create fun challenges for each other, no matter where we are. With this idea in mind, Mia grabbed her notebook and started brainstorming. She wanted to create a list of challenges that they could both complete and share with each other. These challenges would be simple but meaningful, encouraging them to share their lives and experiences. The first challenge was easy. Take a picture of something that makes you happy. Mia thought about all the things around her that brought her joy: her favorite tree in the park, her cat, and even her cozy reading nook. She hoped Jake would enjoy this challenge too. Next, she thought of the second challenge. Write a letter to your future self. This would allow them to express their hopes and dreams, reminding each other of what they wanted to achieve. Mia loved the idea of looking back at these letters someday. The third challenge was a bit more fun. Create a new recipe and share the results. Mia loved baking, and she could imagine Jake trying something new in his kitchen. They could both send each other pictures of their creations and share what they learned. Once she had her list of challenges ready, Mia felt a rush of excitement. She decided to send Jake a message with the challenges, along with a few photos of her own. She wanted to show him that she was serious about staying connected. "Hey, Jake, I came up with some fun challenges for us to do together. I think it will help us feel closer, even from far away. Here they are. Take a picture of something that makes you happy. Write a letter to your future self. Create a new recipe and share the results. Let me know what you think." Mia hit send and waited anxiously for his reply. Would he be excited about the challenges? Would he think they were silly? She felt a mix of anticipation and nerves, hoping he would embrace her idea. A few minutes later, her phone buzzed with a response. "Mia, I love these challenges. They sound amazing. I can't wait to get started. I'll send you my pictures and letters as soon as I can." Mia smiled brightly, feeling a wave of relief and happiness. She was glad Jake was on board. They both needed something fun and creative to keep their friendship alive. Over the next week, Mia dove into the challenges. For the first one, she took a picture of her favorite tree in the park, its leaves glowing in the sunlight. She loved how it reminded her of all the time she and Jake had spent there, laughing and talking about their dreams. She sent the picture to Jake with a message. "This tree makes me happy. What about you?" Jake replied quickly with a photo of his favorite coffee shop, bustling with people. "This place always makes me feel alive. I miss our coffee dates," he wrote. Mia felt a pang of longing, but also joy at the thought of their shared memories. The second challenge, Mia sat down to write her letter to her future self. She poured her heart into it, talking about her dreams, her fears, and how much she valued her friendship with Jake. She wanted her future self to remember this time. How important it was to keep relationships strong, even when life got busy. When she finished, she felt lighter. Writing had always been a way for her to express herself, and this letter was a reminder of her hopes for the future. She couldn't wait to see what Jake wrote in his letter. The third challenge was the most fun. Mia decided to bake her favorite, chocolate chip cookies. She gathered all the ingredients and set to work, mixing the dough and placing the cookies on the baking sheet. The kitchen filled with the sweet smell of baking, and she felt happy just imagining Jake trying out his own recipe. When the cookies were done, she took a picture of the golden brown treats and sent it to Jake. "Here are my cookies. I hope they taste as good as they look," she joked. Jake replied with a photo of a colorful salad he had made. "I tried something healthy. Not as exciting as cookies, but I'm proud of it." Mia laughed, picturing Jake in his kitchen, experimenting with ingredients. They shared their recipes and even planned to have a virtual cook-off in the future. As they continued to exchange photos and stories, Mia felt a growing sense of connection. The challenges had brought them closer together, and it was as if distance didn't matter anymore. They were creating new memories, even if they were separated by miles. One evening, after finishing another round of challenges, Mia sat down to write Jake a message. "You know, I'm really grateful for these challenges. They've helped me feel connected to you in a way I didn't think was possible. I hope we can keep doing this forever." Jake's response came quickly. "Me too, Mia. You've made this so much fun. I never realized how important it was to have creative ways to stay in touch. It feels like we're building something special, even if we're apart." Mia smiled at his words. They were creating a bridge between their worlds, one challenge at a time. She felt empowered by their efforts to reconnect, and for the first time since Jake moved, she felt truly hopeful about their future. As the days turned into weeks, Mia and Jake continued their challenges, each one deepening their friendship. They shared their dreams, fears, and laughter, proving that distance could never break their bond. With every photo, letter, and recipe, they were writing a new chapter in their friendship, one filled with creativity, hope, and love. One night, as she lay in bed, Mia looked up at the stars shining brightly outside her window. She realized that, just like the stars, she and Jake would always find a way to shine together, no matter how far apart they were. Their friendship was a shining light in her life, and she was determined to keep it glowing bright. With a heart full of gratitude and excitement, Mia drifted off to sleep, dreaming of the adventures yet to come, knowing that with a little creativity and effort, they could face any distance together. She felt ready to embrace whatever the future held, excited to keep exploring their friendship across the miles. Mia and Jake had been challenging each other for weeks now, sharing photos, letters, and stories that made their friendship feel alive despite the distance. Each challenge brought them closer, but Mia still felt that something was missing. She longed to see Jake in person, to share a hug and talk face to face. The idea of a surprise visit began to form in her mind, filling her with excitement and nervousness. One afternoon, as Mia sat in her favorite park, watching the leaves dance in the breeze, she couldn't shake the thought of surprising Jake. What if she could visit him? It would be the perfect way to reconnect and remind him how much he meant to her. But how could she pull it off? She knew he would be thrilled, but she also needed to plan carefully. Mia spent the next few days thinking about her plan. First, she needed to save up some money for the trip. She could take on extra chores around the house and babysit for her neighbors. Every dollar she earned would bring her closer to her goal. Mia felt determined and excited, and the thought of seeing Jake kept her motivated. She also needed to figure out the best time to visit. She remembered that Jake often mentioned having a weekend free from work and classes. After checking her calendar, she realized that in just a few weeks, he would have a long weekend. It was the perfect opportunity for her surprise Dot. As the weeks passed, Mia worked hard. She cleaned houses, mowed lawns, and even sold some of her old toys. Each time she earned money, she added it to a small jar labeled Trip to Jake. Watching the jar fill up gave her hope and excitement. She could almost picture the moment when she would surprise him. Finally, the day arrived when Mia had enough money saved. She felt a rush of joy as she bought her bus ticket. She carefully planned the details of her trip, mapping out the route, and packing a small bag with her favorite clothes and snacks for the journey. She could hardly believe that soon she would be with Jake again. As she boarded the bus, Mia's heart raced with anticipation. She thought about all the fun they would have together. Would they visit their favorite spots? Would they laugh and reminisce about old times? The possibilities felt endless. She was determined to make this visit unforgettable. The bus ride felt long, but Mia didn't mind. She spent the time imagining the look on Jake's face when she arrived. She pictured him smiling, perhaps surprised at first, and then thrilled to see her. As the bus rolled into the city, she felt a mix of nervousness and excitement. This was it. She was about to see her best friend. When the bus finally pulled up to the station, Mia took a deep breath and stepped off, scanning the area for familiar sights. She quickly pulled out her phone and sent Jake a message. "Hey, I'm in your city. What are you up to today?" She waited anxiously for his response. A few moments later, her phone buzzed. "Hey, I'm just at the coffee shop nearby. Want to join me?" Mia's heart raced as she typed back, "I'll be there in a few minutes." She hurried towards the coffee shop, excitement bubbling inside her. As she walked through the bustling streets, memories of their conversations flooded her mind. The coffee shop was one of their favorite places, where they had shared countless laughs and stories. When she reached the entrance, Mia's surprise visit with Jake had been everything she hoped for and more. Their time together had reignited the spark of their friendship, and she felt closer to him than ever. However, as the days passed after her return home, a familiar feeling of distance started to creep back in. They were back to their busy lives, and Mia worried that the bond they had built during her visit might fade away. Back home, Mia returned to her routine school, chores, and spending time with her family. But her mind often wandered to Jake. She missed their late-night talks and the way they could share anything with each other. The video calls were a nice way to stay connected, but they couldn't replace the laughter and warmth of being together in person. One evening, as she sat at her desk, looking at the scrapbook they had created, she felt an overwhelming urge to reach out. She wanted to do something special for Jake, just like he had done for her during her visit. But what could she do that would show him how much he meant to her? Mia decided to send Jake a message. "Hey, I was thinking about how much fun we had when I visited. I want to plan something special for us. Do you have any ideas?" Jake replied quickly, "That sounds awesome. I've been thinking about how to keep our friendship strong too. What if we set a regular time for video calls? We could also do a challenge together every week. Mia's heart warmed at Jake's response. I love that idea. Let's make it a weekly thing. We can take turns choosing challenges. It'll keep things fun and interesting. They quickly decided on a day and time for their weekly calls. Mia felt a wave of relief wash over her. This would be a great way to stay connected and continue building their friendship. But she wanted to go one step further. The following week, Mia had an idea for their first challenge. She suggested they each write a story about their lives and share it during their call. We can be creative and let our imaginations run wild, she said in her message. Jake loved the idea. That sounds fantastic. I can't wait to hear your story. As the day of their video call approached, Mia felt excited yet nervous. She had always loved writing, but sharing her story with Jake felt different. She wanted it to be something meaningful. She spent hours writing, pouring her heart into the story. In her tale, Mia described a world where friends could travel through time and space. She wrote about two best friends who were separated by distance, but used a magical portal to meet in different places and times. They went on adventures, explored new worlds, and learned valuable lessons about friendship and love. The day of the call finally arrived. Mia was bubbling with excitement. As she logged on, she saw Jake's face appear on the screen, and her heart sank a little. He looked tired, his eyes slightly droopy, and she could tell he had been busy. Hey, Mia. Sorry, I look like a mess. It's been a long week, Jake said, running a hand through his hair. Hey, you look fine. I'm just glad we're here together, Mia replied, wanting to lift his spirits. They chatted for a bit before diving into their stories. Mia shared hers first, reading it aloud with enthusiasm. As she spoke about their adventures through time and space, she saw Jake's eyes light up with interest. When she finished, he clapped and smiled. That was amazing, Mia. I loved the idea of traveling through time. Now it's my turn, Jake said, excitedly. He shared his own story, which was about two friends who built a spaceship and traveled to different planets. They faced challenges, met alien creatures, and learned about the importance of teamwork and trust. Mia listened intently, captivated by his creativity. When he finished, they both laughed and talked about the lessons they had learned through their stories. It felt like they were in the same room, sharing ideas and dreams. The distance between them faded for a while, and Mia felt a sense of joy. I really needed this call, Jake admitted, his expression turning serious. I've been feeling overwhelmed with everything: school, work, and trying to make new friends here. It's been tough. Mia's heart ached for him. I get it. I've been feeling a bit lost too. Sometimes it's hard to balance everything, but I believe we can help each other through it. Jake nodded, looking grateful. You're right. Having you in my corner means a lot to me. I don't want to lose our friendship, no matter how far apart we are. Mia felt a surge of determination. We won't lose it. We just have to keep supporting each other and being honest about how we feel. That's what friends are for, right? They spent the rest of the call discussing their feelings and fears. Mia shared her worries about school and how sometimes she felt lonely without Jake around. Jake opened up about his struggles to adapt to a new city and make friends. They both realized that they were facing challenges, but that they could lean on each other for support. As the conversation deepened, Mia felt a sense of hope. They were not alone in their struggles. Their friendship was a source of strength, and they could navigate the uncertainties together. They promised to keep talking openly and to check in on each other more often. After the call ended, Mia felt lighter. She had shared her heart, and Jake had done the same. Their friendship was stronger than ever, and she knew they could face whatever challenges lay ahead. The following weeks were filled with creativity and connection. They continued their weekly calls, each time sharing new stories and ideas. They took on challenges together, encouraging each other to step outside their comfort zones. They tried new hobbies, shared their successes and failures, and laughed. At the silly moments, one day, Mia suggested they each create a vision board. Let's put together a collage of our dreams and goals. It'll remind us of what we're working toward, she proposed. Jake loved the idea. They spent time collecting pictures and words that inspired them. Mia added images of travel, friendship, and writing, while Jake included photos of space, adventure, and new experiences. When they shared their boards during their call, they both felt motivated and excited about the future. As time passed, Mia and Jake's friendship blossomed. They had grown to understand that distance didn't have to mean separation. They could stay connected, support each other, and share their lives in meaningful ways. Each call brought new insights and laughter, filling their hearts with hope. One evening, while looking at the stars outside her window, Mia reflected on how far they had come. She realized that their friendship was like a bright constellation. In the night sky, sometimes dimmed by distance, but always shining brightly. I can't wait to see what the future holds for us, Jake, she said during one of their calls. I know we're going to achieve great things together, no matter how far apart we are. Jake smiled warmly, his eyes sparkling with determination. Absolutely, Mia. We're in this together. And I believe we can face anything as long as we have each other. With hearts full of hope and determination, they both knew that their friendship was a powerful force. They would continue to support each other, face challenges head-on, and grow together, no matter the distance. Mia felt grateful for the journey they had shared, and she looked forward to many more adventures, both near and far. Mia had been back home for a few weeks after her wonderful surprise visit with Jake. Their time together had been filled with laughter, creativity, and deep conversations. However, even with their regular video calls, Mia started to feel a familiar sense of distance creeping back into her life. She missed the comfort of having Jake nearby and often found herself staring at her phone, wishing for another adventure with her best friend. One evening, as she sat at her desk, Mia thought about how much Jake meant to her. They had shared so many memories, but now those memories felt like distant stars in the sky. Though they were still connected, it wasn't the same as being together. Mia wanted to do something special to remind Jake how important he was to her. Suddenly, an idea struck her. What if she planned a special challenge for them that would not only keep their friendship alive, but also allow them to create new memories? Mia grabbed her notebook and began to write down her thoughts. She decided to create a friendship adventure challenge. Each week, they would choose a theme or activity, and they would both have to complete it and share their experiences. The challenges could involve anything: cooking a new dish, trying a new hobby, or even exploring new places in their own cities. It would be a fun way to stay connected and feel like they were experiencing life together. Mia felt excitement bubbling inside her as she planned the first challenge. She decided that their first theme would be exploring nature. They could each choose a local park or nature spot, spend time outdoors, and then share pictures and stories about their experiences. That night, she sent Jake a message. Hey, I have an idea for our next challenge. Let's do a friendship adventure challenge. For the first one, we can explore nature in our own areas and share what we find. What do you think? Jake replied almost immediately. That sounds amazing. I love it. I'll find a cool spot to explore. Can't wait to see what you discover. Mia felt a rush of happiness. This challenge was just what they needed to feel connected again. The next day, she set off to a nearby park she had loved since childhood. It was filled with tall trees, colorful flowers, and a small pond where ducks swam. As she walked along the trails, she breathed in the fresh air, feeling a sense of peace. Wash over her. Mia took pictures of everything that caught her eye, the vibrant flowers, the sunlight filtering through the leaves, and